Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Ringside Report. Tonight, Jake Paul versus Ben Askren preview and UFC Vegas, Gastelum versus Whittaker. Yes, welcome to the show. I'm Dave. There's Freddy and AJ. What's up, Freddy?
What's up, homie?
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Oh, Jesus.
I'm great.
I thought you weren't on for a second there again.
Me?
No, Freddy. He took his time to say hello and whatever. I'm like, what's going on?
Oh, Fred's here.
Well,
I'm
I was
here.
surprised, man. He threw it to me pretty early, and usually AJ always jumps in. So, like, I'm laid back, man. That's what I do.
I wanted to get to Fred
chill.
before AJ jumped in. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to get Fred in there before there were any AJ interruptions, and I'm sure there will be plenty of them here tonight. We are here with you. We're going to preview Jake Paul versus Ben Askren, big boxing match coming up on Saturday night. We will be doing a live watch-along with you on Saturday for the Ben Askren, Jake Paul boxing match. Guys, are you excited for this? Are you hyped?
Yeah.
No?
Freddy, go ahead, man.
Oh,
Freddy,
AJ.
show the hype, man. Freddy, show the hype.
I mean, look, I'm hype. I mean, I'm interested. I'm gonna watch it. I love all types of fights, and I embrace the freak show that it is. So, yeah, I'm waiting for it with anticipation. Now, is it anywhere close to being fight of the year for me? No, of course not. But I watch a lot of stupid things, and I'll just add that to the list of stupid things I've watched.
I want to see it. I mean, it's something. I think it's a lot of people are hyped up for this fight. A lot of people, it's a weird fight, but it's got people talking, and it's strange in many different ways. In one way, Ben Askren is kind of representing for a lot of MMA fighters. I don't think it's a lot of MMA fighters representing against boxing, because I don't think Jake Paul represents boxing, right? I think that this is just MMA fighters finally getting one of their own in there against one of these Paul brothers who seem to be calling out MMA fighters and whoever, real fighters, left and right. So this is kind of like real fighting versus the Paul brothers. The problem is Ben Askren is primarily a wrestler, and you can say, oh, well, he won a lot of MMA fights and they're striking in MMA. Well, he did that by mostly avoiding striking and taking people down. He's a very high-level wrestler, Olympic caliber wrestler, and he used that wrestling to become a Bellator champion, and he was very good in his prime of MMA that he's not in anymore. He was never a great striker, and he's in a boxing match now against a guy who's also not a great striker. So I see this as a boxing match between two guys that are not great at striking, and we will see who is the better of the two. And I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure who the better boxer is. I don't think Jake Paul is a great boxer, but I know that Ben Askren isn't either. And I've seen Ben Askren get knocked unconscious, and I've seen Jake Paul knock a guy unconscious in his last fight. So I'm wondering how this fight is going to go. And I think that's why a lot of people are interested in this fight, because if you really look at it, even from a legitimate fight perspective, it's kind of hard to tell. It's difficult because, on the one hand, Ben Askren is a legit athlete, but, he's not a great boxer. You never saw him knock anybody out with his hands in MMA.
Hey, you're coming to my side.
Yes, he has.
I
He
like
has
it.
6 KOs, man.
TKOs on the ground and pound, not standing, knocking people out with one punch.
Listen, he's been KO'd once. This guy once in his career. Listen, 19 fights, man. You're talking about a guy who was a champ, like in 2 different divisions. A guy who's fought like Lima, and he's fought many guys with great striking hands. I think the best is coach. Mike Rhodes said it best. He says you got to understand with one thing with Ben Askren. He's a competitor. He's not coming here to get a paycheck. He's not coming here because it's a joke. He's not coming here to to please like whoever for entertainment. He's coming here because he wants to win. He got called out. He's like, okay, cool, man. I got called out from this turkey, and you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna show him exactly what like the world of combat sports is and the world of the House of Pain is, and that's what he's gonna show him on Saturday. People make a big mistake if they think this is going to be entertainment, like for like, oh, it's going to be a soft fight and whatnot. Ben Askren is coming out to compete. Ben Askren is a competitor, and he's looking to come out of retirement and get into the boxing scene. And you know what? He's been like his coach has said for the last months, all he's been doing is working his striking, and his striking has gotten pretty good. You know, and it's not like he had a bad striking game before. It's not the best in MMA. His boxing side is not the best in MMA. Well, bad. Is it bad enough that you could be a champion in 2 divisions? I don't think so. That's what I'm trying to say, Fred, is that what people don't realize is he's a competitor.
2 divisions?
Two promotions.
He
wasn't. The thing is that
he wasn't.
But the thing is,
ONE FC.
In the UFC,
are you saying ONE FC?
Yes, ONE FC.
Okay, ONE FC and Bellator.
ONE FC.
Right.
Yes, and Bellator.
Okay.
And the thing is that he came into the UFC, he had 2 fights, and let's not forget, this guy is a real combat veteran in a sense. He's a guy who's able to get hit. The guy can take a punch. He's probably a lot shorter than Jake Paul is, but you know, he's coming to win. And not that Jake Paul is taking this like lightly. I know he's been training and whatnot. And actually today I saw something that he's saying that he has early signs of CTE and whatever. So he's trying to make it look how many rounds I've done in the ring, like, you know, with the training camp, and now I have CTE early signs. But the truth of the matter is he's going up against Ben Askren, and it's going to be a nightmare on Saturday for him. You'll watch what I say.
Well, I hope you're right. I hope you're right, and I'm not really convinced either way, AJ, and that's why I'm interested to see this fight. That's why I want to see this fight, because I'm not really sure how it's going to go. I think that Ben Askren is the more legitimate athlete. He's got more credentials. But Jake Paul's kind of unknown. What I've seen, though, from Jake Paul in the boxing ring was not impressive. And I think that Ben Askren has been training boxing long enough. It's not like Ben Askren just decided to put on boxing gloves a month and a half ago when he got this Jake Paul fight. Ben Askren has been fighting in mixed martial arts for a long time, and he has been hitting pads and throwing hands and boxing and defending boxing, and he's also got, you know, good cardio, and he's a legitimate athlete. Jake Paul is unknown. I don't want to come on here and say, well, he's an illegitimate athlete and he's just a YouTuber. You could tell the guy is in good shape, and he's out there boxing, and he's going to step into the ring with Ben Askren on Saturday night. So, hey, good for him, but he is not a proven athlete. He doesn't have the credentials, and we don't really know what he can do. Does he have some knockout power? Does he have the ability to knock somebody out with one punch? Yes. Does Ben Askren?
Against the basketball guy.
Sure, of course, but he still did it to a man. And I've seen Ben Askren fight some men that were not great athletes, and he didn't knock them out standing with a punch. So, you know, you can say what you want, but I have seen Jake Paul do a thing that I have not seen Ben Askren do. So I see Jake Paul as dangerous early on. And I was just talking to our buddy Matt Casaval, who's a boxing expert, who's going to be joining us on Saturday night for the fights. And he feels really the same way as I do. We were talking about it, and I agreed with him 100%. You know, early on, Jake Paul's going to be dangerous, but as the time goes on in the fight, I think it's scheduled for 8 rounds? Is it 8 rounds, guys? Do you even know? Do we even know?
I'll tell you.
AJ, tell me. Find out. But I know it's going to be several rounds. It's not like a 3-round fight. It's a real fight. I think it's 8, maybe 10 rounds. But I think it's 8. And in the 4th, 5th, 6th round, that's when Jake Paul's going to get tested. And I think Askren, being the better athlete, has the ability to put it on Jake Paul and win some rounds, maybe put him away if Jake Paul is tired. But ultimately, I think that this fight will end like most boxing matches end, going to a decision, and we will have a draw. I'm betting the draw. Yeah. This is awful, Fred. What are we talking about? What are we talking? This is a stupid fight. We're talking about this over Whittaker Gastelum. This is awful.
Yeah, well, I was going to say I agree pretty much with everything both of you guys said, except this part of the draw. And also, AJ said something that might be even crazier when he said Ben Askren is not there for a paycheck. I'm sorry, they're both there for a paycheck. And he might be saying something else, but they're both there for the money, man. That's the only reason this fight is getting made. And look, it's a freak show, and you guys are right, man. Ben Askren is a better athlete, so as the rounds pass by, I'm going to give him more and more a shot to dominate the later rounds. But I also agree, the early rounds, man, Jake Paul might be a big puncher. We'll see, man. It's for fun, man. I'm not overthinking it. I feel you guys are overthinking this fight, man. Let's just enjoy it.
No. Fred, let me clarify one thing.
I'm enjoying it. Hold on, AJ. Hold on 1 second, AJ. I just want to give a shout-out to Angelo, who dropped the super chat. What's happening, Angelo? He says what's happening. Give a shout-out to Angelo, our main man, super chat leader of the night, one of our members. Don't forget to become a member of the team, just like Angelo did. Angelo knows what's up. Craig Paquette is a member of the team as well. What's up to Craig? And also shout out to Brooklyn Lizard. And, Glenn McKenzie says he's hitting a super chat every time AJ makes a dumb prediction. So, AJ, your prediction for the fight? AJ, your prediction for the fight this Saturday night, Jake Paul, Ben Askren.
That Askren is not there for the money is pretty much a dumb prediction. So I think Glenn owes us a super chat.
No. Let me clarify that. I wanted to clarify that. It's a simple thing. He's not coming just for the paycheck. He's coming in because he's been training. And if people think he hasn't been training for this fight, they're grossly mistaken. And for Glenn, if he would have listened to me 2 weeks ago, I was 6-0, so he would have made some money. So you know what? That's right, buddy. It's ching ching time with AJ. So you know what I'm going to say.
Ching
I'm going
time.
Obviously with Ben Askren. Ching ching.
Okay.
And one thing, listen, you know
I think I'm going with Ben Askren too, though, AJ. I mean, a draw. But if I'm going to pick a guy, I'm picking Ben Askren too, AJ. I'm with you. But I think, honestly, it's going to go to a decision, and either they give it to Askren because it's like obviously Askren's because Askren just beats him up. I don't think Askren puts him away. I think Jake Paul will survive whatever Ben Askren throws at him, unless he gets so tired and it's just pathetic and he falls over. Then maybe. But I think, honestly, like, Ben Askren puts it on him in the final few rounds. I think Jake Paul's kind of wild and dangerous in the first couple. He might even wobble Askren and hurt him a little bit early, but Askren will settle down or get knocked out. I mean, he might get knocked out early, but if he doesn't, I think they settle down, they go to a decision, and they'll probably just score it a draw because they scored that Mike Tyson-Roy Jones fight a draw, and it seemed like Mike Tyson won that one. So, you know, these
but they're like
Triller fights,
years old, man.
They're gimmick work fights, man. I don't trust any of this shit.
It's a gimmick. It's not a real fight.
Well, I think
it's a real fight.
I think it's a real fight. Angelo says it's 8 rounds. Thank you, Angelo, my man.
Yeah.
8 rounds.
And you know
is it real? What's real, Fred? What is? I mean, I don't know. It doesn't.
Is COVID real?
It doesn't seem real. Take it easy.
Hear me out. Did you see Demetrius Johnson? What happened to Demetrius Johnson?
He got knocked unconscious.
And he was the first. He got knocked unconscious, and he was like, "Listen to me. I know my stuff, and I'm going to tell you this. I love Ben Askren, and he's a great fighter, this and that, but he's going to lose. And you know what? He thinks he's going to lose. I mean, as an MMA
a lot of guys think he's going to lose. GSP thinks he's going to lose. Demetrius Johnson thinks he's going to lose. A lot of people think he's going to lose.
His predictions have been pretty bad lately.
Not as good as ours.
His predictions have been bad lately.
Not as good as ours.
So, Glenn, listen to us. Don't listen to GSP because if you want to make money, listen to Ringside. GSP has been wrong. Demetrius Johnson was wrong. He thought he was going to win that fight, and he went to bed night for Bonzo. And I'm going to tell you something. What people keep forgetting is that Ben Askren, I think he's only been knocked out once in his career. And the thing is that this guy's a professional athlete that trained his whole life, either, like I said a couple of weeks ago, in wrestling, boxing, in sparring camps and whatnot. He's fighting at a high level training path, and MMA is the same thing, fighting highly competitive guys. Look who he fought, man. He fought so many guys. Look at his record.
He's fought some guys. You're looking at
Robbie Lawler, man.
But, and he got hurt.
Robbie Lawler.
He got very hurt.
Paul's going to be
Robbie hurt him quite badly.
Well,
and then Ben
normal. That's
landed
Robbie
this
Lawler,
weird
man.
choke, and Robbie wasn't out, and
bulldog
for
choke,
some reason they called the fight
He was
over.
out. He was out.
Okay,
He was
but
out.
Ben won with grappling then, AJ. He won with grappling. Super
Askren
chat.
is always like,
I am money.
he's going for the takedown. Like
Glenn says, did AJ say if I want to make money, I am money? Glenn says he is money. Sorry, Fred, go ahead.
Thank you
I was going to say,
chat,
the way Askren wins is with his wrestling in MMA.
Yeah.
Like, I can't remember a single fight where he won with his striking. And he's always, like, pursuing that takedown. Like, and he's very good at it. I applaud him for his MMA skill wrestling. But boxing, man, I need to see it. And look, you guys are right. He's the better athlete. He should win and all that. I'm just pulling for the freak show. Go Jake Paul, man. And this is just like a fan pick, man. Don't be betting on it. Oh, what? I'm insulting the purist in you, AJ? Is that it?
No,
Go
not
Jake
at all.
Paul, man.
Actually,
Jake
listen, man.
Paul.
I'm gonna give it to Jake. I'm gonna give it to Jake Paul because now that he has CTE, I hope that he makes a lot of money, like to get like the proper treatment as his life carries on. But the truth of the matter is this: is that he makes loads of money. He was able to put out $50 million to say to Conor, let's fight. So when a guy has that amount of money to be able to throw out, and he apparently it was all legalized, it was true, but Conor didn't come out, which Conor won't, because Conor will knock him out and kill him. But the thing is this, is that Jake Paul is a marketing genius. There's no doubt about it. Entertainment genius, no doubt about it. And like when we look back at Jake Paul's and his brother's career on YouTube and getting into the boxing scene, these guys made more money in boxing than some boxers have done in like their whole career. And we can talk about that. And we saw it live. We saw it on YouTube where they brought in over 2 million subscribers with $20.
And
they had 30,000 people in people in a stadium paying full price. And this ticket here is going for $49.99 or up to $69.99. It's in between that to come and watch this show on Saturday. So the Jake Paul is a genius in marketing. There's no doubt about it. He's a real entertainment genius. And I'm going to give it to him. And I got to give it to him as well for like taking the effort to go and box.
Got to give it to him.
That could have killed his career. I got to give it to him because he could have lost his career. Mind you, he fought two jabronis. And that's, it's nothing to brag about. But if he does beat Ben Askren, man, that's going to open up a whole can of worms that we're never going to hear the end of it. Because every crazy YouTuber is going to come out and start challenging people like Khabib, Conor,
I don't know about that.
Glenn McKenzie. I don't know, man. It ain't happening.
Now, AJ, here's what I think happens if Jake Paul does win and knock out Ben Askren. Then he brings out a real striker next time. Then, like, he calls out somebody from MMA. I don't want to see, like, Dylan Dennis, right? Angelo says, screw Jake Paul.
I'd like to see him.
I like it.
I don't know.
No, that's ridiculous. This is what you want to see. You want to see somebody who can hit. You want to see a hitter in there. You want to see a guy like Nick Diaz. You want to see a guy like Jorge Masvidal. You want to see a guy like Conor McGregor. If Conor loses to Dustin Poirier, his next fight could easily be Jake Paul. Right? When Jorge Masvidal, come on, man. Money, man. Conor's all about the money. Really? I mean, it'll be Manny Pacquiao or Jake Paul. You can't?
Conor's a legit striker, man.
If he knocks out Ben Askren in like the first round and it's not even close, which is possible, you never know, man. You never know, right? If he knocks Ben Askren out pretty early and looks impressive, it could be Conor next. If Conor loses to Dustin here coming up in July, it could be Conor next. It could be Jorge Masvidal, because Masvidal is about to lose to Usman, right? So who knows what's next for him? Like, it could be any of these guys who could really stand and throw, and then things get really interesting. Then, like the if Askren beats him, forget Jake Paul. Like, why watch Jake Paul fight anybody legit again? If you can't win a boxing match against Ben Askren, you have no hope of winning a boxing match against Conor McGregor or Jorge Masvidal or any of these guys. But if you
that guy's gonna change.
But if you do,
I agree. But with that said, he brings in a lot of eyeballs. Like, I mean, once CM Punk lost his first fight, he wasn't supposed to have a second one, and he still got a second one because he brings a lot of eyes. So the same way for Jake Paul. I mean, yeah, if he loses, it hurts, but with his YouTube like following, he could probably do another pay-per-view and make some money. You just bring down the price like the original one or something. So I say though, if Askren wins, I think this gives a little like pep to Askren, where him and Masvidal have been beefing again. So I could see maybe Askren coming back with a little glory if he beats Jake Paul and coming to fight Masvidal, trying to get his revenge. I know Masvidal would give him the rematch.
Oof.
For what, the BMF title or something like this?
In the UFC?
Just for a fight, yeah, MMA fight.
Oh, I
They're
don't know.
still
It could happen.
beefing
I
then
can
on
see that
social
happening.
media. So
Yeah,
I can see that happening.
maybe.
You know, and
I don't know
Askren
if
says
the
he wants to come.
UFC does the UFC really bring back Askren? Well, if he beats Jake Paul, gets a lot of press.
I mean,
maybe.
look, it would be a big I don't know if it could main event a pay-per-view, but like it's definitely a great co-main event, and it would add some sales to a pay-per-view. Like both guys are mainstream, so if you put Masvidal and winning Askren, let's say Askren knocks out Jake Paul, whether it's fatigue or by skill, and Askren is like, he's a good boy. He's hot right now. He just beat the YouTuber.
Yeah.
You know what? Look, Dana White put $1 million that Askren was gonna destroy Jake Paul. I mean, he's putting up $1 million. I think Snoop Dogg put up $2 million that Jake Paul is gonna beat Askren. I mean, Freddy's right, man. There's such a hype into this fight that you know what? It's gonna come down to that. Even if he loses, this guy is probably gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna look into fighting my first MMA fight, or he's gonna come out and say, I want to fight in like the WWE, and he's going to end up fighting. He's going to have some role in some other sport, and we're not going to see the last of him, even if he loses. And Freddy's right. There's so much eyes that came into boxing because of people that were not from the boxing world in the last little while, and people that came out of retirement, like Mike Tyson and whatnot. I mean, look, Matt Kazavan said it himself. Boxing is going through a really strange time. And basically MMA. If it wasn't for Conor McGregor versus Mayweather, boxing wouldn't have seen that hype for the longest time. I think that got more hype than the Tyson fight. There's no doubt about it.
The crossover definitely helps. The Paul brothers are definitely adding some hype to boxing. There are some legitimate boxing matches on this card as well. It's going to be the one that Matt was excited about was this Regis Prograis versus Ivan Redkach. So we'll see that one in the co-main event. Then you got Frank Mir taking on Steve Cunningham, and Joe Fournier will take on Raycon. That's some sort of weird freak show type fight. I don't think those guys are actual boxers, but they're fighting each other. So that's the card, and they're also going to have Justin Bieber, the Black Keys, Doja Cat, Saweetie, Diplo, Major Lazer, Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, Too Short, E40. All those people are going to be performing. So how long is this
going to be, man?
I think about 3
hours.
Long,
a lot of participants.
I think it'll be about 3 hours. It starts at 9 p.m., so we'll be here with you at 9 p.m. when the pay-per-view starts, and I think it'll probably end around midnight. Or they're saying 4 hours. Technically 4 hours, but I think probably 3.5, hopefully.
Man, this is some... Listen,
it's
man,
just be weird.
Seeing Frank Mir fight Steve Cunningham, that'll be an interesting fight.
Yeah.
I like to see that fight, and even that Joe Fournier. If Joe Fournier was basically this wealthy millionaire, kind of like Jake Paul kind of guy, and decided that he was going to put his money into boxing and training into boxing, and he's 8-0 now. So you never know, man. I mean, mind you, he's fighting some, I don't know who this Raycon is, some YouTuber as well or whatever. I'm not sure. But, look, it's going to be an interesting night. Just to see Frank Mir there, dude, it'll be nuts.
Right now at bet99.com, and you could use our promo code RINGSIDE and get a matching bonus deposit of up to $600 when you drop in the promo code RINGSIDE over at bet99.com. They will match your initial deposit up to $600 over at bet99. And they've got the Jake Paul minus 192 favorite, Ben Askren plus 137. You got to figure there is some definite value going on Ben Askren for the win, right? I think you go with Ben Askren on this one. I don't see props on this fight. I'd like to see a little bit more as far as the length of the fight because I think this one goes a little bit longer, but I think there's a lot of value in Ben Askren as the underdog because I see this fight as going either way. I'm not really sure how this goes. I see it as a coin toss, and if I were to favor somebody, I would favor the guy who's had more professional fights. You know, I would favor the athlete, the proven athlete. I would bet on Ben Askren, to be the favorite, but he's not. Jake Paul, minus 192. Fred is picking Jake Paul. I am picking... I said a draw, but
come on, Dave.
Yeah, I think there's value in Askren for sure. I'm going to go with Ben Askren. I think Ben Askren by decision, but they're not going to give him the decision, and it's going to be a draw. Like, watch, it's going to happen. And AJ is going with Ben Askren for the win. How do you see... Freddy, do you see Ben Askren getting knocked out in this fight? Is that how you see it playing out? Jake Paul with the knockout?
I said I'm not giving you an analyst here. I'm giving you what I want as a fan. I just want him to win anyway, man. Of course, I think Ben Askren is the better fighter. He's the better athlete. He should win. I don't want him to win. I want Logan, Jake Paul to win, man. I want to continue the freak show, man. I'm pro freak show, man. That's what I am. He'll win by some type of freak show, man.
I don't think it's going to happen, man. I don't think Ben Askren, after all these years of like taking the sports of combat so serious, and like he said, he's been training boxing for the last months. His boxing game has improved a lot, and he doesn't have to worry about like losing so much energy in like takedowns and like defending takedowns and the whole grappling game. Listen, 8 rounds. Okay, you said something earlier. I don't know if it was Fred or Dave, but I believe that Jake Paul in the first rounds is going to come out like heavy. He's going to throw those heavy hands. He's going to try to knock out Askren, who's only been knocked out once or twice, if you want to call it by knee. But the thing is this. That's not going to happen. The longer those rounds go into the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, I'm telling you, Ben Askren is going to, he's going to make a clinic out of him. He's coming out because he doesn't want to lose to a guy like Jake Paul. Seriously.
Yeah. See, I hope you're right, AJ. I hope you're right.
No,
I'm really on the fence. I am totally on the fence with this fight, and I don't really know who's going to win. If I had to put money down, I'd put it on Ben Askren, but I don't think I'm going to bet this fight at all. I wouldn't advise it. I wouldn't go betting on this fight. But AJ, I'm with you. I want Ben Askren to win. I don't want Jake Paul to win. Fred, I'm kind of perplexed as to why you want Jake Paul to win, why you want this freak show to continue, but I love it as well. Glenn McKenzie says Jake Paul is the McKenzie lock of the night. Thank you, Glenn. Jason Pete, member of the team. Jason Pete says the odds makers are absolute idiots on this one. Angelo says I'd put my money on Askren. So Jason and Angelo are agreeing with AJ. Glenn going with Freddy. And Patrick C. Hamilton says not going near it. I'm with you, Patrick. I'm with Patrick on this one.
And listen to this. I'm going to go with Jason because Jason, I'm going to tell you something. He's out in Mexico. He's seeing like guys in like the boxing scene, the Mexican boxing scene, and probably the worst guy in his boxing gym could like destroy Jake Paul. Like the worst guy. Like he said, I just saw a comment coming in. Have you seen like his last 2 fights? Yeah, he was good at like in boxing, a real amateur basketball player, and he was really good at fighting a guy who was another YouTuber.
That's not fair, man.
But that's the thing. Listen, you're fighting guys
amateurs, man.
Listen, listen. I was amateur. Jason was amateur. A lot of people were amateur at one point. But the difference is that I'm not going to go fight Ben Askren, and I'm not going to go call out the Diaz brothers, and I'm not going to go fight the Conor McGregor. You know what? These guys might be MMA guys, but let's not forget their level of boxing is been harnessed for many, many years, man. But when you look at Jake Paul, I'm sorry, man. Those 2 fights are not going to convince me that you're going to go out there and destroy Ben Askren, a real combat athlete. And again, like Jason, he knows more, man. He sees the boxing guys, the boxing scenes every day. Matt Kazavan knows the boxing scene, sees it all the time. And there's no way Ben Askren is going to come out to embarrass himself, to lose to a YouTuber. You might as well lose to Donald Duck. It's the same bullshit. There's no way that's going to happen.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. You see Jake Paul's
What was
open
that
workout? That was Ben
I
Askren's
didn't see
open
that.
workout, and Jake Paul's open workout a little bit more bizarre here. This was the scene at the Jake Paul open workout. Ben Askren just hitting pads. This is Jake Paul on top of a man doing something. I'm not sure what.
What's he doing? Like yoga?
I don't know.
Is that McGregor's old trainer?
I don't know what he's doing. It's
What
bizarre.
is that? Kama
Playing
Sutra?
touch button.
Glenn, what is
Yeah.
that? What is? Glenn don't know that position.
I mean, it's some sort of. It looks like some sort of strange stretching or yoga or whatever.
Cirque du Soleil stuff.
But this was his open workout. There's Jake Paul on top of a man with his
ass
with
ass
his
pumps.
butt on his feet, just kind of laying there. Yeah,
Like, what's that supposed to prove? That he's flexible?
I mean,
I know what that's going to prove. That's going to be exactly how he's going to look like after Ben Askren is done with him. He's going to look exactly like that, except there's going to be a stretcher underneath him. I'm telling you, man.
I love it. I love
That
it.
was weird, man.
Jason Pete says he looked like absolute shit. He can't box for shit. I've seen more technical bar fights at McKibben's downtown. Boom.
He's right, man. He's absolutely right.
Boom.
Bravo, man.
Yeah,
It's
I love it.
like
I was not, but then he says, but if Paul lands that one lucky punch, it can happen as well. I have to admit, it's that puncher's chance, right? He does seem to be a puncher, and Ben Askren doesn't seem to be a puncher. Ben Askren is a legit athlete. He is a fighter. I think if this fight goes past the second or third round, Askren should kind of take over. But Jake Paul's got that chance. He is a little bit bigger than Ben Askren, and he seems to hit hard. But I'm not sure he's going to be able to land that shot on Askren that will put him out. And I think Askren will have good defense, and he will grind through the fight and win. He will win. I just don't trust boxing judges, so I feel like a draw will come. But I'm going to go with Ben Askren by decision. I feel like that's what's going to happen, but we'll see. We'll see.
Listen, what Jason said is that lucky punch. He's absolutely right. Anybody has a puncher's chance, and we see that all the time in the heavyweight division. But you know what? If he gets that lucky punch and actually knocks out Ben Askren, which I know is not going to happen, it'll be a lucky punch for him, but it'll be an unlucky punch for all professional athletes because all these crazy jabronis are going to come out like calling out
too much pressure on
and we're never going to hear the end of it. Well, there is pressure. There's absolute pressure on Ben Askren. That's why he's not taking this lightly. He said it. He's coming in. You see how calm he is at the interviews and whatnot. I mean, Jake Paul is like he's funny, man. I got to give him credit. He's a funny guy. But man, you know what? Ben Askren is the type of guy that says, "Okay, we'll lay it out in the ring, or we'll lay it out in the octagon." That's where we'll do our talking, But you know what? I hope it doesn't end up in a draw, and I hope it doesn't end up in a stupid loss. I hope it is what it is, a professional athlete. It's like trying to pretend that you can outskate, I don't know, man, Sidney Crosby or Ovechkin, or try to say that you're a better hockey player than Gretzky. Listen, man, maybe you are, but
Well,
chances
see,
are
no,
you're not.
that's not what this is. That's not what this is. This would be like
It is.
if
He's
there was
trying
a
to outshow
famous
that he's a
YouTube
better
star.
fighter than a professional.
If there was a famous YouTube star who took up speed skating, right? They decided they were going to become a speed skater, and then they challenged like Sidney Crosby to a speed skating race. They might win that YouTuber because it's speed skating. Now, Sidney Crosby skates in his fucking sport of hockey, but skating, it's, part of the arts that you need to learn to play hockey. You got to learn with the stick and the hitting the guys and punching the guys in the face, I think, is part of the hockey. I'm not really sure what hockey is. I can't even skate, so step one, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
I don't know,
that,
man.
AJ. It's not the same, right, Fred? You know what I'm saying? It's like speed skating.
Of course.
Boxing is
But you
speed
know what I
skating.
feel like
Sport,
this
man.
is?
You're at.
Different sport. It's there are elements of boxing and MMA, but MMA isn't boxing. And Ben Askren certainly didn't win any MMA fights with boxing.
Well, listen, he's got six
Exactly.
TKO wins, man. Stop it. Just give the guy some credit. He's
Don't
taking
watch
shots
them.
from
I bet
like
all
Robbie
of them
Lawler.
are on the ground
Listen.
after a takedown.
Listen, I'm going to tell you, it doesn't matter.
100%.
It doesn't
Some
matter.
of them he
But
might
the
not even
difference
have.
is that
He might not have even used striking. like standing up.
Yeah.
His first strike was on the ground.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, let's be honest. He fought Robbie Lawler. If anybody can fight Robbie Lawler, even though like I think he still won it with the bulldog choke and everybody can say whatever they want, he still got wrecked by Robbie Lawler and still was able to finish that fight with that submission. If you can fight Robbie Lawler, man, you're going to be afraid of a Donald Duck? Come on. And you know what? I feel like this whole moment is like something out of Borat.
Duck?
I feel like this is like Borat moment where like, yeah,
what are we talking
Borat
about?
Moment, man. Like Jake Paul is the Borat coming out to fight like a pro, man.
Okay.
Like the bull riding thing. You never saw it?
Speaking of Borat, did you see Bad Trip? Did you see that? I told you guys to watch it.
Yeah, I saw it.
You
It was
watch it?
good, man.
Oh, it was crazy,
I watched it, Dave. It was crazy. Man, that was nuts. You know what? I got to give those guys thumbs up, man. That was, you know what? The storyline was classic, man.
Oh, my God. What a movie. Bad Trip.
That car. What was the name of the car again?
Oh, the bad bitch car?
She was crazy, man.
Yeah, that was
That
good.
was funny, man.
Yeah.
That was unbelievable, man. Excellent movie, man. Excellent. I watched it with Noah. The poor kid, he's traumatized now.
Oh, man.
But
That's
anyways,
not... Yeah, that movie was, like, rated...
Yeah, it wasn't,
something.
under 21.
I mean, they had their dicks locked together in a Chinese
That
finger
was
trap.
funny.
I mean, that's not for kids. It was crazy. Fred, you didn't see it?
It was crazy, man.
You're
was
missing out, man.
I'm going to watch it again because it was so funny.
Oh, man.
The sister is classic, man.
Glenn dropping a super chat just to say Borat. Glenn, you got to watch Bad Trip. Glenn's always trying to make me watch all these old movies. He's always bringing up these movies that I've never seen on the AEW Dynamite Wednesday night show.
They're probably good movies also.
Oh, I'm sure they are. He said
they're probably all the movies that are classics.
He wants me to watch Tombstone. I haven't seen.
Classic,
man. He's right.
Tombstone is the second best Western after Young Guns.
Is it on Netflix?
Oh,
yeah, watch Young Guns, though.
Wow, man.
Young Guns is
amazing,
the best.
man.
The one. Young Guns 2 is not that good.
All right, movie recommendations here.
It was still pretty good.
All right. Well, I recommend Bad Trip to you, and then I'll watch Tombstone to Glenn, and then I'll watch Young Guns. We're watching a lot of Westerns, I suppose.
Charlie Sheen, Elio Estevez, Lou Diamond Phillips. Like, there's so many good actors.
Guys, give me 1 second, all right? Give me 1 quick second.
Are you okay, AJ? Whoa.
Oh, what happened to AJ?
Oh, I heard a kid. You hear a baby? I heard a baby crying.
Oh.
That's what happened.
Oh.
He's got to go deal with some baby things, because when you have babies, you got to go deal with them sometimes, and nothing stops it, right? Nothing could stop it. Freddie, you know about that life. I know about that life.
Yep.
But you've got a baby. Yep. Mine is like
I started
under
doing those.
Mine's almost 4 now.
Like
He's under control.
I restarted doing some jiu-jitsu in the last 2 weeks, and I've been doing those exercises with my daughter there, the ones that I sent you. It's pretty fun.
How's her armbar?
She's got a good armbar. That's what I was going to say.
Nice. Yeah, my son's doing the same ones, and his armbar is tight. Like, it's good, man. It's good. That's a good.
I was trying to do it with Alfred today, but it didn't went so good. But he's only 9 months. So
yeah, he's too young.
I'll give him a couple of months still.
Yeah, at least. At least. Good. It's good to get them started young on the jiu-jitsu, get those instructionals done. At least get the kids to understand at a basic age, when they're very young, just get the basics of jiu-jitsu. Like, this is a guard. You don't want to be here necessarily. You want to be kind of in the mount, like just to show somebody where they want to be. Because most people don't even know that. Just the kind of basics of like, side control is here, mount is here, guard is here. This is an overhook. This is an underhook. This is what an armbar is like. This is how you do it. Just kind of basic stuff. I think is really good to teach them as babies, as young as possible, so that as they're growing up, it's just like natural. You never don't know it. It's like innate. It's always there.
It's all about making it fun, man. If you make it fun, they'll continue, man. I was reading on a Facebook post today, like this guy complaining that his kids didn't want to do jiu-jitsu. You got to find a way to make it fun, man.
Yeah.
If it's not fun, they're not going to do it.
And even if it is fun, they might not want to do it either. You know what I mean? Like, they might not want to do it. Even if it is fun, they might want to have fun doing something else, and that's all right as well. That's totally cool. Angelo says Johnny North in the house, but I don't see Johnny North. Is he in the house? Oh, no, there he is.
Yeah,
I see
AJ
Johnny.
is your
Johnny.
Huckleberry.
I see.
Who's Huckleberry?
I don't know. It's some sort of reference that I don't really understand. Glenn and Johnny are now bonding against me sometimes on the show on Dynamite, and
Glenn
I
is
don't
crazy.
get it.
Young Guns 2, Young Guns 2 is a decent movie. Christian Slater plays in it. The best part of Young Guns 2 is the Bon Jovi song Blaze of Glory. That video when I was young was incredible and all, but Young Guns 1 is definitely the better movie, without a doubt. Young Guns 1.
I can't be with you on the Bon Jovi. I'm not like a Bon Jovi.
Oh, come on, man.
You know?
Blaze of Glory? Dead or Alive? Come on, man.
No, not for me. Sorry. AJ. Oh, I thought he was back. I was going to say AJ loves Bon Jovi. He was back for a second, but now he's gone again. We'll get him back in a second.
Bon Jovi is a guy I got to go see. If he ever comes back to Montreal, I got to go see for sure.
Bon Jovi. No, not a big Bon Jovi fan.
You're missing out, bro.
Conor versus Oscar. What are we talking about, Johnny North? Are we talking about a movie or Conor McGregor versus Oscar De La Hoya? Is that happening? What are we talking about?
Conor for right now is going to fight Dustin Poirier.
Yeah.
Now, if we talk about this fight, I'm interested in talking about Poirier and Conor because I do have opinions on that. I think Conor in the last fight, he was winning the first round. And then all of a sudden, those leg kicks changed the whole fight. So I think it's mostly about Conor taking this fight seriously, having a real preparation where he gets hit a lot in the legs, build some toughness there to absorb some of those shots, check more of those kicks, don't get hurt on the legs. And I think Conor should win the rematch because I feel like the first round, he was winning that first round. He was looking good early on, but as soon as the legs got chopped, man, the whole fight changed.
Yep, I agree. I think Conor has a good chance of winning, but I'm not sure that he's going to have enough time between the two fights to make the proper adjustments to defend those kicks and figure it out. I'm just not sure.
Well, maybe two training camps in a row can't be bad for him, actually, where he's not inactive. So I'll give him that. But I think the most important is Conor needs to be prepared for real for this fight. He needs to take it seriously. Dustin Poirier is an elite fighter. He's definitely a top five guy in the division. So you can't sleep on that.
Yeah. How's the kid, AJ? He's all right?
What'd I miss? Yeah, what'd I miss?
Don't worry. We're just talking about movies.
Bon Jovi talk.
Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
He's Italian, by the way.
How good is Bon Jovi?
Did you know that?
Yes.
How good is Bon Jovi?
Bon Jovi is amazing, man.
How good is Bon Jovi? I know. I agree.
How good? On a scale of 1 to 10?
What's your favorite Bon Jovi song?
There's so many, man.
Can't even name one.
So many.
Dead or Alive.
What are you talking about? Dead or Alive is one of the best, man.
Dead or Alive.
From Young Guns.
That's the best song. Exactly.
Yeah, it's good.
We're losing Dave right now, man.
Dave doesn't know any of that shit. He doesn't even know who Bon Jovi is. He probably thinks it's some kind of COVID disease. It's the COVID.
I mean, I know who Bon Jovi is, but I'm not really a fan of the music. I don't really listen to Bon Jovi or enjoy it. It's not my style of music. I don't know. I've never really been into Bon Jovi. What can I tell you, guys? I'm sure that they're fine.
Listen,
I hear the songs and they're all right.
Bon Jovi in Quebec, man. Bon Jovi in Quebec he has such a huge fan base here. It's ridiculous. I know personal friends of mine that have taken cruises, the Bon Jovi cruise or whatever it is, to go party with him and whatever. Man, this guy, you know what? Is he married? Is Bon Jovi married? Because if he is, man, I don't know how he did it.
What? Who cares?
Giovanni Bon Jovi.
What the? Who gives a shit about Bon Jovi?
Dude,
Bon
that's
Jovi.
bad, man. You're gonna get hate mail for sure, man.
Yeah, fine. I
You're gonna
mean,
get hate
honestly,
mail.
you really want me to tell you what I think about Bon Jovi? He sucks, okay? I think Bon Jovi sucks. What's that
You're
song
gonna be
he
wild
does?
and dead or
should be
alive,
singing
man.
Saturday.
What are those shitty songs that
Bon
he does?
Jovi's
Yeah.
better than all those groups you named earlier, man.
Yeah, who
No,
are the
not
groups there?
Snoop
There's a whole
Dogg.
bunch of them.
Bon Jovi's not better than
Oh,
Snoop
Snoop Dogg
Dogg.
is
Get
pretty
out of
good.
here, man.
Hell
Snoop
yeah.
Dogg, Bon Jovi. I don't even know the Bon Jovi songs, but I don't like them. All right. I mean, I've heard them,
You
and
know
they're
John-
just like
Do
whatever.
you know John Cougar? Do you know John Cougar, or do you know John Cougar Mellencamp?
I
Or do
mean,
you
I'm
just know
aware
John
of
Mellencamp?
him. I'm aware of him, but again, they do the same style of music. You know, it's all the same type
I've
of
seen him
stuff to me.
twice.
I'm
I've
sure
seen
you
John
have.
Cougar twice, man.
Yeah.
I did, man, and it was
Back in
awesome.
the 80s.
Awesome concert.
Yeah.
Brian Adams, man. That's like that whole
Oh
group
yeah,
scene,
yeah,
man.
all that stuff.
Last show I
Rolling
saw was Lenny
Stones.
Kravitz.
Ugh.
And I saw a
Wow.
picture of him this week, as I think it was his birthday, man. Guy's like 58, but looks like incredible, man.
Rest in peace, Lenny Kravitz.
Does he? I thought you were going to say something else. Well, that's good.
He's not dead. Lenny Kravitz
That's
not
Prince,
dead,
dude.
man.
I know, you
Prince,
said he
man.
would look
Prince,
great.
man.
I'm joking. I'm just saying it. I'm just saying it. When he does die,
that
We
rest
should
in
have a
peace.
fine, man. There should be a fine for killing people that are not dead, man.
He's not dead.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
fine.
That happens all the time.
I just
keep
like-
seeing like all these chats.
I just like don't like I don't know all that stuff. Like I don't like classic rock really. I don't think I don't like anything really that's classic rock. I'm not much into rock in general.
How about Kid Rock? I bet you like Kid Rock.
Kid
I
Rock's
mean,
great, man.
kind of. I guess
Come
I
on.
like
American
There,
Badass.
when I
knew
was
it.
in
I
when I
knew
was
it,
in
man.
high school. Kid Rock was like kind of popular, and I was like, yeah, Kid Rock is all right. But you know, I don't listen to Kid Rock today. I can't say that I ever said, hey, Google, play Kid Rock. You know, I don't really want to listen to that. You know, you guys know me. I listen to old country music. I listen to George Jones and Waylon Jennings, and I listen to rap music.
Johnny
you know,
Cash.
modern rap and old rap and all sorts of shit like that. You know, DMX. You know, let's talk about DMX. You want to talk about some music?
Yeah, what happened to that poor guy?
He died. What do you mean? Rest in peace, DMX. For real, for real. Oh, DMX. That
Wow.
hit me hard. I was quite sad when DMX died. Fred, you must be a DMX fan too, right? Bon Jovi and DMX. Fred, you crossed the generations.
I mean, it's my
You're
generation.
between me
I
and
like
AJ.
DMX.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
it.
I like
DMX.
man. Rest
Come
in
on,
peace,
man.
DMX, man. And
I know BMX,
and
but I'm
he-
trying to think DMX.
he always
Y'all
brought
know
a
the
lot
truth,
of
Dave. I'm trying
energy,
to
man.
think.
Every time he spoke, man. I like people with energy like that. So rest
Yeah.
in peace, DMX. And AJ, which fighter comes out to a DMX song? Can you like which MMA fighter? Which like legend of MMA comes out to a DMX song? You're googling right now, AJ. You're
No, I'm not. I swear to God, I'm
Bonus
not.
if you
Give
can
me a
name
hint.
the song. Bonus if you can name
Well,
the
give
song,
me a hint.
AJ.
Give me a hint. Give me a hint.
He used
What
to be
year
a
is this
champ. He
fighter?
was a champion. Fred, are you still there? I
What
think
year?
you just froze out. Fred's like,
Poor Freddy got DMX'd.
I think Fred just got frozen. He'll be
Freddy
back.
got the DMX. Now he won't know.
But
I got it right, Freddy.
Oh, there you go. He's there,
Did
but
you hear
he's
that?
like,
Freddy.
maybe it's his internet, some
I-
sort of internet deal. I don't know what's going on. Freddy's like kind of. He'll be back.
Dave, give me a hint, man. What year, man? Give me a hint.
What year was he a champion? I mean,
Yes, yes.
come on, man.
Uh-oh, there's Smiling Fred, man. There's Smiling Fred.
Oh, there's Fred. Fred, you're back.
Freddy. I got it right.
No, you didn't. You didn't get it. You didn't even guess.
Oh.
Where's
I
Fred?
thought you were going to go with it, man. Freddy,
Fred,
are
are you
you there,
there?
man? You okay? Look at him. He's
Oh, we
he's
can't hear
yapping
him.
there. He's doing like
Yeah, he's talking, but we
doing the
can't
French
hear him.
mime thing.
Fred, your mic died or something. I don't know
What?
what happened. We got no
It's those
audio
hackers,
coming
man.
from
They're
Fred
getting
now.
in. Here, let me guess. I got it. I'm gonna go with a crazy guess here, and I'm gonna go with. I think one time Johnny North told me. I think it was Anderson Silva.
There you go. You just read it on the chat, though.
What?
Johnny wrote it on the chat, and I saw you. You probably read it there.
I remember Johnny talking about that way back. Did he actually write that? See, I knew it.
I'm I don't know. I'm trying to
So
get Fred
Anderson
back.
Silva knows DMX. I figure he'd be a little bit more into, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Snoop
Ain't
Dogg.
No Sunshine by DMX. I think we got Fred back, hopefully. His internet was, like, glitching out. You all right, Fred? We back? Can you hear me?
I think
Freddy,
so.
you okay?
Hola.
Oh, yeah.
Don't be shy.
There you
What
go.
happened?
Hola.
Yeah, we're good. Fred is back. And yeah, AJ, I know you didn't know about DMX, and I know you can't name many DMX songs. I was a big DMX fan. Brooklyn Lizard says love Bon Jovi. I'm sure a lot of people love Bon Jovi. Angelo says Bon Jovi is married, so there's the Angelo info about Bon Jovi. But I'm not really. That's not my style. But that's okay if it's your style of music. It's just Didn't
what's his name, Eminem, come out with a new song for like MMA and the UFC just recently? Like, what's all that?
He had
like,
a new
I thought it was gonna be a big
album, and
hype.
one of the songs was used as he did a video that was kind of UFC themed for one of his new songs. That's about
Cool.
it. But I'll be able to.
Respect.
You guys can tell me all about Bon Jovi, but on Saturday night we'll watch this Ben Askren Jake Paul fight. I'll be able to tell you all about Saweetie. I mean, do you know what happened with Saweetie and what was that
Who's your
guy's name?
sweetie?
Quavo. Did you see Saweetie and Quavo in the elevator?
Quavo's
No.
with
What
his
the hell are they
sweetie?
doing? Is it something like
Aw.
X-rated? What?
There was like a physical altercation with Saweetie the rapper and Quavo. Of course, Quavo. You guys know Quavo, right? He's one of the Migos. You guys can name the other two Migos, right? Obviously, everybody can, right? Not just me on the show. Everybody on the show knows all the Migos. 3 guys from Atlanta, the Migos. You know them.
Uh-huh.
Quavo,
The three
right?
amigos.
And the other guys. Quavo,
Hey!
Offset. Quavo, Offset, and who's the other Migo?
Is it a cartoon?
You guys don't know the Migos? Who's the third Migo? I know.
Does it play after Tom and Jerry, or?
Takeoff. Takeoff, Offset, Quavo. No, they're a rap trio. Quavo
And Louie?
Quavo was dating Saweetie, and Saweetie is performing on Saturday, apparently at the Jake Paul Ben Askren thing, and Quavo
So
and
Sweetie's
Saweetie.
a female.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, now I
And
make
she's
sense.
fighting who?
Okay.
And Quavo's a female also?
No, Quavo was her boyfriend, and they had some
So
sort of
why
physical...
is it getting fucking physical, man? You can't get physical.
Well, yeah, obviously.
That doesn't
Well,
seem cool, Dave.
That's why it was on TMZ. That's why it made news.
Oh,
It wasn't cool.
well, fuck him.
Well, yeah,
fuck
Quavo. Quavo seems like kind of a dick. But I'm just saying, I could tell you things like that about Saweetie. You know, you guys know all this Bon Jovi stuff, but when, Saturday rolls around and you guys want to know about Saweetie, who's this rapper performing, I'll tell you, she's the lady that got kind of pushed around by Quavo
did she
in the elevator.
Did she give Love a bad name?
Yeah, was she living on a prayer, Dave? I doubt it.
I mean,
Hey, was she slippery when wet?
did she ever lay on a bed of roses?
I mean,
exactly.
maybe.
Come on.
I can see that.
You know?
Possibly.
Is he wanted dead or alive now? That's the question.
I mean, he should be dead if he's putting his hands on Sweetie, man. You can't do that.
Death penalty for a...
That's a New Jersey.
Where are you bringing us, Dave, man?
I don't know. Where are you bringing us, Fred? I don't know. Let's talk about Conor McGregor, okay? Conor McGregor.
What's happening with Conor? What's he doing now, Conor?
We'll preview
Another
the
commercial?
UFC. We'll preview the UFC fights on the weekend here in a second. I want to get to Conor McGregor, who got into a little bit of a Twitter beef with Dustin Poirier this week and threatened to cancel the fight. This is kind of where it started. Dustin Poirier says, that's a fun prediction, Conor. You also predicted a donation to my foundation, and you and your team stopped
there,
responding after the fight in January. See you soon, July 10th in full. And then Conor replies, a donation, not a debt. We've been awaiting the plans for the money that never came. I do with all my donations. Know where it's going, dot for dot. Otherwise, it goes walking. As is the case with a lot of these foundations, sadly, you took the McG over the belt. Shows I was right. So Conor's like, hey, by the way, you could have fought for the title, but you chose to fight me again because you know that I am the money fight.
But why isn't he talking about the donation? Stick to the donation, man.
Whoa! No. Let me
Okay.
He's
backtrack.
accusing
Hold on.
Dustin of running a sham organization or what?
Hold on. Before AJ
No.
continues, AJ, let's get more facts before you run your mouth.
Okay.
100% never a debt, Dustin Poirier responded. You offered, we accepted. And like I said, your team never responded to our emails regarding the process of where funds will be put to work. July 10th, you will taste defeat yet again. So it seems like a communication thing, right? Like Conor was like, okay, but where exactly does this money go? And
I think Floyd gave him $2 million.
Who, Dustin?
Floyd Mayweather. He
Yeah,
gave a donation to...
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, but maybe Conor, asks more questions before he gives money. And then Conor replies, my team does their due diligence to make sure every donation meets the mark. My generosity is known. You will pay with your brain for this attempt at smearing my name, shooting ass, shelling ass bitch. Little bitch kicks from a shell. Good luck when you're caught. You're fucked.
What?
Good. Conor's motivated.
No.
Conor seems pissed, and Conor also says at one point, and I'm trying to find the tweet, he may have deleted the tweet, because he said the fight was off at one point. At one point, he's like, oh, by the way, fight's off. You guys can all, kiss my ass and try to be my next opponent because everybody...
Sucks.
Everybody wants to fight me because I'm the money fight, and everybody's, falling over themselves.
Look, man, you know what? I think if there's one thing for sure, from listening to a bit of what Conor said and Poirier said, I think there was some discrepancy on where to send the money, how to send the money, and whatever. But apparently the money was sent. So, that's one thing with Conor. He has so much money. I mean, $500,000 is a drop in a bucket for him. And the reason why I'm going to say this is that I was listening to a pretty cool podcast the other day, which I think I sent to you, Dave, Flagrant 2, man. They had Dylan Dennis on. That was hilarious, man. I'm telling you, Dylan Dennis is funny. And that came up, the topic about the Dustin Poirier, trying to say that he got ripped by Conor. And Dylan Dennis, man, defended Conor to a T. Is one of his greatest friends, and he says, no, that was taken care of. Believe me, Conor will not do anything. He said whatever he says, he does, and I really believed it. I really believe him. There's no reason why Conor wouldn't be giving money to Dustin Poirier. I think it might be just maybe a hype to the fight, but no, man. Dylan Dennis, man, defended Conor, and he was I believed him. In the end, I'm telling you, it was awesome.
Conor at one point tweeted that the fight was off, but I think he deleted that tweet because you can't really find it anywhere. So Conor said that the fight was off, they're not doing it, but then, it got settled, and the UFC even said, we're selling tickets for this thing, and it's going to be a full arena. Dana White, a day after Conor said the fight was off, or maybe 2 days after, I think it was the next day, did this video saying, hey, we're back in Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena. We're going to sell it out again. Conor McGregor, July 10th, Dustin Poirier, this fight is on. So Conor, whatever he says on Twitter, it's whatever. It doesn't mean that much. It's really all about what Dana White is doing, what the UFC is doing, and Conor seems to have gotten in line, and he's talking about fighting Dustin, and even Dustin has said that he regrets kind of putting the charity stuff out in the open, and the fight is going to happen full capacity July 10th. The bout agreement is signed. This fight is definitely happening. I know that there was some doubt that the fight was going to happen. Angelo, my man, Angelo Contagonis, who dropped a super chat, says AJ is funny. AJ is funny. Angelo was worried about the fight not happening, but the fight is happening. The fight is happening July 10th, Conor versus Dustin in front of a packed arena.
Listen, and I saw today some report that was saying that a couple of seats out in front was selling for over $10,000 for this third fight. So man, there's a lot of hype behind it. A lot of people want to come and see it. It's going to be a packed crowd, and everybody wants to see Conor. And when Conor has the crowd, man, Conor sizzles. There's no doubt about it. It's going to be crazy, man. It's going to be crazy.
I'm looking forward to that fight. I'm looking forward to some fights on Saturday as well. I think we have some good ones coming up in the UFC, not just the Jake Paul Ben Askren deal. We got some UFC fights. We got Robert Whittaker versus Kelvin Gastelum in the main event, UFC Vegas from the Apex. Whittaker, former world champion, 30 years old. He's got a great record.
At the same time?
22-5. Yeah, I think it's at the same time. I think so.
Yeah, pretty much.
Probably watch both.
Yeah, we'll watch both. We'll do a double watch-along on Saturday night. We'll be watching everything. We'll be watching the Vegas,
that's the way you do it,
UFC, the Jake Paul Ben Askren card. I mean, really, we're going to be more watching the Vegas UFC because the Jake Paul Ben Askren card really only gets started when Frank Mir starts fighting for us, I think. And even then. Then.
I mean, I wouldn't mind watching the other fights before just to see like what kind of a freak show it starts off as. But you know what? We'll have split screens that night.
That's right. Main card starts at 10 p.m. Eastern this Saturday night. Whittaker versus Gastelum. Right now, the odds have Whittaker as the favorite. Right, he's going in.
Big favorite.
Pretty solid. Let's see. I'm gonna get you the number.
Sense.
Minus 250. Robert Whittaker. Kelvin Gastelum plus 210. That makes sense to me.
Whittaker.
Yeah, I've got Whittaker
in
this fight. I just see Whittaker as a little bit more mobile of a striker, just a little bit higher level. Gastelum is good. He's durable. He's solid. He's got good wrestling. He's got a great chin. He hits hard, but I think Whittaker just a little bit too much for him, a little too technical. His takedown defense is really good. I think Whittaker is able to move around Gastelum, outstrike him, outpace him. I think Whittaker wins this fight. It's a 5-rounder, so I could see Whittaker having the time to put Gastelum away. Gastelum's not a guy you just put away quickly because he's tough, he's durable. But over a 5-round fight, I could see Whittaker finishing it. I'm going to go with Whittaker.
Coming off of 2 losses as well, eh?
He won his last fight, Gastelum. He beat Ian Heinisch, but before that, he'd lost 3 in a row. So I'm going to go with Whittaker.
He lost to Darren Till?
Yeah, 3 in a row.
You're talking about Gastelum? Yeah.
Gastelum. That's what I'm saying. You're saying he's coming off 2 losses. He actually is coming off a win, and before that, he was coming off 3 losses. So stick to the facts here, AJ, and we'll be all right.
No, that's it.
So I think Whittaker. I think Whittaker wins this fight. I just think he's better. In all aspects of the game. He's a former champion. Gastelum's good, but I think Whittaker wins by decision. AJ?
I think so too. I mean, if you're going to look at overall in the last 3-4 fights, you can see Whittaker's only loss was to Israel. And you got to remember that this is Whittaker that's coming back from like a collapsed bowel. He had some kidney issues. There was all kinds of problems with Whittaker that kind of pulled him off track. And then he lost his belt. He lost to Israel, but Whittaker is still a beast, man. The Reaper is man, he's an amazing kickboxer, great hands and whatnot, and I love Gastelum. There's no doubt about it. But you're fighting Whittaker, and I think Whittaker is gonna win this fight, especially a 5-round fight, man. It's gonna be a stoppage at some point.
All right, he's got Whittaker by stoppage. Freddy, you think it gets stopped? We're all going with Whittaker here.
I mean, Gastelum's a tough guy, but 5 rounds, Whittaker, I think, Gastelum's taking it on short notice, so yeah, I feel Whittaker's going to finish him. He's got to find a way to finish it. The only way Gastelum could maybe cause trouble is maybe with his wrestling, but like you said, Whittaker has a good takedown. I like how he stands. He's hard to take down, and he's still a good striker at the same time, so I'm going to go with Whittaker winning this one pretty decisively.
Co-main event, we got Jeremy Stevens, minus 127, the favorite, taking on plus 103, Drakkar Klose. That's close. That's a close one. I don't know. I could see Klose winning this fight. Yeah, I could see the underdog pulling it off, but I wouldn't put it on a parlay. We're going to give you a parlay here in a minute. I've got some good picks for this card. The main event, would be on my parlay here that I'm going to give you in a second. Here's the next
But when you
fight on
look
my
at
parlay.
Stevens,
Do you care about this fight that
Dave,
much, the co-main event? Like,
well,
Fred doesn't care.
no,
I don't really care. Fred, do you care?
Look, this is a
You don't
fight.
care.
Look, if you're gonna go with like, I'm gonna put it on my parlay because when you look at Stevens, man, the guy's been fighting since like UFC 71, man, 2007. The wear and tear on this guy, man, is like he's old, man. And you know, Vlada Klaus is like an amazing fighter. He's a good fighter, good enough to beat Stevens in this fight.
Fresher,
in my opinion.
Yeah, less wear and tear.
Fresher, and that's the thing. Less wear and tear, man. And you know, I'll put him in my parlay because you know I'm going through that full main card, parlay. So I'm going with Klaus on this.
Patrick C. Hamilton dropping a super chat. Thank you, Patrick. Patrick says, should I go Whittaker? Yes, go Whittaker. Yes. Go with Whittaker on Saturday. He is the bet on Saturday. He's definitely going to be on my parlay. I'll give you my parlay here in a second. I want to get to this next fight. Andre Arlovski coming in, minus 127 the favorite, taking on Chase Sherman, plus 104. This is one that I like. I like this one a lot. Chase Sherman looked great in his last fight, smashing through
May.
Wasn't it Villanueva?
The one before?
I think it was
Villanueva.
Villanueva, Ike Villanueva smashed him. I don't know who Jeremy May is. Oh, he fought him in 2019. That's several fights ago, AJ. Where are you getting your information from? I don't know.
I was just looking at some old fights of his. Okay. And,
well, I watched his last fight.
I really like him.
I watched his last fight against Villanueva, and he looked fantastic. And then I watched a few of his fights where he fought in the UFC previously, where he lost to Augusto Sakai and Justin Willis and Shamil Abdurakhimov. And, you know, he was a different fighter back then. His striking was not as fluid, not as good as it is right now. I think that odds makers are going a little bit with Arlovski because of the name value, and maybe Chase Sherman doesn't have the best record in the UFC, so they're not really paying attention. But I think he's far more durable than Andre Arlovski is. I think he's got a better ability to take a punch. He hits very hard. He's 6'4", comes up near the heavyweight limit at about 255 pounds. This is a big, strong man who's only 31 years of age, who takes on Andre Arlovski, who is 42, who, you know, I think even he would admit, has seen his better days. He's got 30 wins, 20 pro losses. He's coming off a loss to Tom Aspinall where he really wasn't in the fight back in February. He won 2 fights before that, but I don't think they were to the level of Andre Arlovski or even a Chase Sherman here. I like Chase Sherman to win this fight. I think he puts Arlovski away, and he's definitely on my parlay. I'm gonna go with Chase Sherman as my lock of the night as well. Chase Sherman, the underdog, is Dave's lock of the night. Sherman by KO, says Jason Pete. I am with that 100%. Sherman by KO. Last week, we all went unanimously with the underdog, Mackenzie Dern, taking her by submission. And if you went with us, you cashed in big time here on the Ringside Report Network. Mackenzie Dern winning by submission. Not only did she win as the underdog, but she did win by submission, which we all expected. And hey, when Mackenzie Dern's going to win, chances are it's going to be a little tapski, and that's what she did to Nina Nunes last weekend. It seemed pretty obvious to all of us going in that Mackenzie Dern should have been the favorite. She was the underdog, and that was free money, giving you free money each and every week here on Ringside Report MMA. And I don't know about you guys. I want to know what you guys think, but I really think Chase Sherman has this fight locked in. He's going to be my lock of the night. Freddie, thoughts on the Sherman-Arlovski fight? Thoughts on Arlovski being a favorite?
I'm going also.
Okay.
I'm surprised, but like you said, name value always has Arlovski maybe a little bit more favored than he should be. And we predicted that he would lose his last fight against Tom Aspinall. And look, I like Arlovski. Before that, he had, I think, 2 wins in a row or something like that. But I'm going to pick against him more often than not because I think he's at the end of his career. And look, I'm always down to see him. he's a tough guy. He brings it. Sometimes he gets knocked out, but he's a striker. He stays standing up. He brings the action. I'm just gonna go with Sherman, like you say. He's a pretty big guy. Also, probably hits hard. Only needs one good one to knock Arlovski down, man. Sherman TKO.
Dave,
there you go.
Arlovski's been in the game. He came into the UFC in 2000. There's some people that are listening to our show that weren't even born at that point. This guy's been fighting. He has over 50 fights, man. Think about the wear and tear. We've seen Overeem leaving. We've seen a lot of other guys leaving from that era. And I think it's his time now. There's no way, man. The Vanilla Gorilla, man, he's 31 years old. Arlovski's 42 years old at this point. And you know what? The guy's a fireman. He's highly conditioned. He's got heavy hands. He's extremely patient. And you know what? If you've seen the footage on his last fights, man, the guy, man, he's deadly. And I agree with you guys. I agree with who was saying it, Jason as well, man. Yeah, Sherman by KO. That is the lock.
There you go. There's our lock of the night. Another underdog pick. Go to bet99.com. Use that promo Ringside for the matching bonus of up to $600 on that deposit. Take advantage of the matching deposit up to $600 over at bet99.com when you use our promo code Ringside. We were just unanimous on an underdog, Chase Sherman, to win by knockout, plus 104 over Andrei Arlovski. Free money this weekend, baby. Free money. And I will give you my parlay as well. And I'm going to get AJ and Freddy's parlay here in a second. Do you guys have any other fights on this card that you want to talk about or you give a shit about? There's a lot of fights on this card, a lot of people that, as Fred says, don't have Wikipedia pages, so do they matter? Are they known? Do we really want to talk about them for that amount of time? I mean, they're all good fighters and everything, but, I don't know if I have a feel on a lot of these fights. Abdul Razak Al-Hassan takes on Jacob Malkoun. Alexander Munoz takes on Luis Pena. I got a little bit of a feel there. I'm not a big fan of Luis Pena. I wasn't super impressed with his last fight against Kama Worthy. I like Alexander Munoz in that fight to win by decision. He's a Team Alpha Male guy. I'm going with Munoz. Tracy Cortez taking on Justine Kish. Juan Espino against Alexander Romanov. My buddy Jeremy Prophet likes Alexander Romanov in a big way, but I haven't done a ton of research into that fight, so I don't know. Jessica Penne over Lupita Godinez. I'll tell you about that fight in a second. I think there's value there. Gerald Mearshart against Bartosz Fabinski. Dakota Bush, Austin Hubbard. Zara Fernan Santos against Josiane Nunez, and Anthony Birchak against Tony Gravely. Any of those fights jump out at you guys as, maybe some value bets or some fights that you're interested in because of somebody in that fight? Freddie? Nah, right? AJ?
Nope. Not really.
Not really.
But there's nothing that really stands out that
Okay.
much. I'm kind of interested to see what Jeremy Prophet said about Romanov. I'm going to look into him a little bit more.
He likes
we'll see
him.
how
He
he
thinks
fights
he's good.
on Saturday.
Yeah, we'll see
Well,
about
he's
Romanov.
13-0, so he's doing something well.
Here's one for
King
you
Kong,
that
they call him.
I did a little bit of research on. The Lupita Godinez taking on Jessica Penne fight is interesting to me. Jessica Penne coming in as a plus 225 underdog, and that's mostly because she hasn't fought in 4 years because she was suspended by USADA.
Really?
For 4 years.
Was it 4 years?
Killed somebody?
No, she was given a
Yes,
4-year ban. Oh, no, she hasn't fought she was given a 4-year ban, but she hasn't fought in 4 years. But she didn't have to serve a 4-year ban. So she had a bunch of injuries. No, she had a USADA violation, and she was suspended. And then for like 18 months back in 2017, then she was able to fight again and scheduled to fight. But then she hurt her. She was supposed to fight in February 2019 in her comeback fight, but she hurt her ankle the morning of the fight, and the fight was rescheduled to April 2019. But then Penne got hurt again, and then she got flagged by USADA. So she still hasn't fought, right? It's like her last fight was April 2017. She gets suspended for like a year and a half, gets another fight, gets hurt, gets injured, gets a little injury, gets worse injured, can't fight, then gets suspended again by USADA and was given a 4-year ban, but then the suspension was reduced from 4 years to 20 months, and she became eligible to fight again in December of 2020. But then she was supposed to fight March 27th of this year against Hannah Goldie, but Goldie pulled out of the fight. The fight was supposed to be on 3 days before because she tested positive for COVID.
Damn, she's complicated.
So she's had so many fucking issues going into all her fights. Suspensions, injuries, people tested for COVID, like all sorts of stuff. In the end, Jessica Penne has not fought since April 2017. And right now she's 38 years old. 4 years out of the game is a long time. Good luck. But
man, in MMA, man, the game changes in a year.
Sure, but it's not like she wasn't training. It's not like she wasn't training. It's not like she wasn't competing in the gym with some high-level people. And it's not like she wasn't very good when she left. Like, she was a top-level fighter. She beat some good people. She lost to some good people. She's 3 inches taller than her opponent here. And Jessica Penne, okay, she's got, 3 straight losses. She hasn't fought in 4 years. And that's, those aren't good things. And that's why, she's coming in as a plus 225 underdog. But her opponent here, Lupita Godinez, is relatively untested. This will be her UFC debut. She's only 5-0. She's fought 5 times as a professional. She lost a few times in her amateur career. And this is her UFC debut against somebody who is a veteran of the sport, who's been there and done some things and won some championships. So I think that there's value in Jessica Penne to win by decision. I think her range, her kicking, and her punching could help her. I think Lupita's going to have faster hands. She's a better boxer. She's good boxing. But if Penne could get this fight to the ground, I think she could submit Lupita. I think she's a better grappler on the ground, but I think Lupita's got some good takedown defense, so it might be tough to get her there. But I think Jessica's got some real advantages going into this fight, and I think that there is a lot of value in Jessica Penne as the plus 225 underdog. So Dave's parlay, all right? What do you think, AJ? You don't like it? 4 years is too much? But what do you know about this? Did you watch any Lupita fights? No, you didn't watch any of these Lupita fights. Listen, you don't watch Jessica Penne fights going into it. You just think, 4 years is too much. And I get that. Look, but if you look into it, I think Jessica has a real shot of winning the fight.
Look.
I believe you, Dave. I'm putting her in my parlay also.
Oh.
I'm gonna go the other way.
I'm building a crazy parlay because I'm listening to you. I'm listening to Jeremy Prophet. I'm listening to myself.
There you go.
I mean,
you're listening to yourself.
AJ, man, and you'll win.
All right, here's Dave's parlay. Whatever. Who cares what AJ says? Here's Dave's parlay.
Oh yeah.
It's Robert Whittaker minus 270, Chase Sherman plus 104, and Jessica Penne plus 225. $20. Plus 808 odds will get you $181. So that's Dave's parlay. AJ, mark it down. All right, I'll send you Dave's parlay later on, AJ, so you can put it up on our Instagram and Twitter. GSP? Yeah, you can check it out on our Instagram and Twitter at Ringside Report. Freddy,
don't clear your choices.
Okay,
don't clear your choices because I got those 3 fights. Plus, I'm adding Drakkar Klose, who's gonna beat Jeremy Stevens.
Yeah, I like it.
Adding Alexander Romanov.
Minus 147.
Undefeated heavyweight.
Freddy's parlay. Here we go. Freddy's picks for this weekend. He's going with Robert Whittaker, Chase Sherman, Jessica Penne, Drakkar Klose, Alex Romanov, $20 at plus $29.98 gets you $619.54 over at bet99.com. Freddy's big parlay. It is a 5-fight parlay. Whittaker, Chase, Sherman, Jessica Penne, Drakkar Klose, and Alexander Romanov. That is the Freddy parlay, 5-fight parlay. $20 gets you almost 700. Or no, just over 600. Pretty damn good either way. AJ, what do you got for me? Give me some fight picks.
So I'm going to start off with Whittaker for sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Klose as well, like Freddy went. Then I'm going to go with Chase Sherman. I'm going to go with Gorilla. And then I'm going to go with Luis Pena. I think Luis Pena, with his height, reach, is going to be too much for Alex Munoz.
He's going to get grounded and pounded. He's going to lose this fight, Pena. I got Munoz in that one.
Listen, if I'm going to look at this is going to go the distance. I think Luis Pena is going to come out and win this.
Wrong again. So that's on your parlay. Is that your parlay? Is that your parlay?
That's my parlay. But let's not forget who's 6-0, man, on the the main cards.
One time.
Listen, man, it don't matter. That was a couple weeks ago.
It does.
You made money
matter.
with AJ. I think Luis Pena is going to pull it off.
You made money with Dave as well, and more consistently. Anyways, Robert Whittaker minus 270, Drakkar Klose plus 103, Chase Sherman and Luis Pena at minus 149. Let's see, $20 will get you plus 847, 189 and 49. So with Freddy's parlay, you got the biggest money. I'm doing the shortest parlay, and that's the deal. All right. AJ's parlay, Freddy's parlay, Dave's parlay for Saturday night, UFC Vegas, Gastelum versus Whittaker. Okay? That's what's going on Saturday night, and we'll be back with you here at 9 p.m. for the Jake Paul, Ben Askren fight, and we'll also be watching the UFC fights with you so we can talk about our parlays that we've won or lost or whatever, and we'll also talk about Ben Askren and Jake Paul and all of that going down in the crazy world of boxing. We'll have our man Matt Casavant on with us as well. Bellator's got a show tomorrow night. They're doing Vadim Nemkov, light heavyweight champion, against Phil Davis in the main event, and Corey Anderson. I think this is Bellator. Oh no, second fight in Bellator. He beat Melvin Manhoef his last time. This is another light heavyweight tournament fight. Corey Anderson takes on Dovledsan Yagshimuradov.
Wow,
cool.
Pretty good, Dave.
So that's happening tomorrow night in Bellator, and I think you'll be able to watch that on YouTube if you live in Canada, because Bellator doesn't have a broadcast deal, so they're just playing they're airing their shows for free on YouTube on their YouTube channel in Canada, which is pretty cool for us because we don't have to pay for Bellator. It's free for Canadians until they figure out their TV deal. So if you're looking for that, that'll be tomorrow night. Nemkov Davis and Anderson versus Yagshimuradov. Cool. That's it. That's all. RingsideReport.net is our website. Go there. Follow me on Twitter at Dave Simon MMA. Same on Instagram, Dave Simon MMA. Follow AJ on all the things at Danny Brook. Freddie has an Instagram, but he doesn't use it, and he's been banned from Twitter because he is a president.
Keep the faith.
Freddie will be back. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you to the super chat. Angelo dropping the super chat right there at the end. And Angelo is our super chat leader of the night once again. Angelo, thank you very much, Angelo. Our main man, Angelo, we appreciate you. Thank you to Glenn McKenzie as well for the super chats. We love you, Glenn. And Angelo, Patrick as well. Patrick C. Hamilton out in Regina dropping the super chat as well. Thank you, Angelo, for the super chat. You are the super chat leader of the night. Thank you to all the members of the crew as well. Don't forget to become a member of the YouTube channel. Keep supporting the Ringside Report Network. Go to donate.ringsidereport.net. Big shout out to Antoinette, who went to donate.ringsidereport.net and became a member over there. Keep supporting the channel.
Wow.
Become a YouTube member and go to merch.ringsidereport.net. Thank you to everybody watching. We appreciate you. Thank you for loving the show, Brooklyn Lizard. We love you for loving the show. All right, we will see you again Saturday night for the Jake Paul, Ben Askren watch-along, and I will be back here tomorrow night. I know a lot of people want me to go on and do a show about everybody that got released by the WWE. Just wait. You're going to have to wait Johnny North and I will unleash on all the WWE releases tomorrow, right after SmackDown for Wrestling Uncensored. So a lot of WWE news going on, but tonight we're doing the UFC thing. So tomorrow night, 10 p.m., right after SmackDown, we'll talk about everybody that got released today by the WWE. See ya!
Ooh.